Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today's the continuation of the information we got last night. And, we're gonna talk about it, and you can watch me turn this 1 minute into 8 minutes. And it's just like magic. So let's take a look here. I haven't actually watched this yet. I went to sleep pretty recently after. I do know the EEs and shenanigans that are coming. So we have episode 4 release, 4-2. How are people liking the story, by the way? Let me know in the comments down there what you think. New hero Zahak. I gave my thoughts about him yesterday. I'm not going to touch on him in this video. This is mostly going to be about the exclusive equipment. The new side story for Zahak as well. And then Illynav Alencia and Free Spirit Tieria. One day they're going to get Aramintha in there, but it's not today. This one is kind of surprising too. We have the limited rerun of Tenebria, which is coming on the 14 days. So December 9th. Yeah, December 9th there. Definitely recommend people saving and picking that up. I would pull for that over Zahak for sure.
I'll remove you.
Yeah, we've already seen this. So let's just go to the EEs. That's what I really wanted to talk about. So we have Illynav EEs, and for those of you who don't know, I'll just show it really quickly here. My Illynav is SSS and +15. So this is a character I have used extensively. I really liked her. I think I stopped using her because I kept losing, so maybe this will help here. It was one of those like forceful unequip because every time I used her, it just didn't go well here. So this is a character I have used quite a bit, and that is pretty near to my heart. So yeah, also 44% crit is insane with that imprint. I always forget about that. That's just ridiculous. So let's go back into the EEs here. So first off, one of the EEs is the Punish. So this is a 6 to 12% chance to crit. So we just talked about our base crit here. Let me actually do this so we can production value. So we can take a look at both as we go. So I'm just going to leave this up here for now. Okay, so we have the no, I can't see it. Production value. There. Okay, we have the Bloody Jewel, which is 6 to 12% crit, which is 12% crit, which is kind of insane, honestly, because this puts her at 56% crit or so with my SSS anyway. And even without SSS, you're still sitting on like 38% or something. So that's pretty fantastic. That's going to help a lot. And then we have decreased skill cooldown of Punish by 1 turn, which turned this down to a 2-turn cooldown here. Not really too keen on this one, but if this is something you want to inflict a lot of injuries on, perhaps that's a way to go. Next one we have is Repel, which just grants a barrier to the caster for 2 turns when using Repel. Barrier strength increases proportionate to the caster's max HP, and she is an HP bruiser, right? So that's pretty good, but the problem is it doesn't solve any of the problems I personally had when using Repel. So the big problem with using Repel, for those of you who have not used Illynav too much, and again, I have used her quite a bit, is it doesn't protect her from unable to be buffed or something like that, right? Like a lot of the times she just have unable to be buffed. She wouldn't get critical hit damage. She wouldn't get immunity, and it just kind of felt lackluster because of that. So that's something to really consider here if you do the Repel, which is good, but I don't know if it's strong enough. And this is a 4-turn cooldown to give her a barrier that, you know, I'm not really a fan of that one either. Not too great, in my opinion. We then have Repel number 3, which is increase the CR of the caster by 50% when using Repel. And this one is great. I really do like this one personally. I think that's the one I'm going to be using for sure, because being able to buff up and give yourself combat readiness is fantastic, especially since a lot of people have been building the Illynav with counter set kind of slower. So this allows you to kind of follow up with your counter set or whatever you want to do pretty decently and get a bunch of CR boost. And this is a 4-turn cooldown as well, so that's not bad. Overall, I'm a little disappointed with these. They're not bad, but they're not special. I think that's a really big thing I would love to see them do with kits, is make them a little special, right? Because decreasing skill cooldown by 1 turn is just kind of uninspired. That said, it is a 2-turn cooldown, so like you never know what's going on with that, and then you can reduce it further. So I just seems kind of awkward to me. The barrier as well just seems to pile on the problem she already has, you know? And the repel is just a cool little bonus. There's nothing fun really enticing me to want to play Ilynav. I do not think it's bad. I just don't think it's gonna make people want to play Ilynav too much more. You know, like with Luna, for example, having the extra turn on kill, that kind of gave her some spice, you know? So that's something really to consider here when you're looking at EEs. Next up, we have the Alencia. I haven't really fully read the Alencias yet, so we're going to learn this together. So we have Alencia here, and I would like some music. Hello, music? We have Alencia here. I have to change everything because there's no stupid stream. Ah! Sadness. We have Alencia here. So this is a 6 to 12% crit chance as well, which does only bring her up to 22/27. The other cool part is here that's really going to help her gearing, you know? You really wanted high crit on her, and you also wanted all of the other stats, so she's a very stat-hungry unit. A Noble Blood here increases the effect chance of Noble Blood to activate Mind's Eye by 20% after she's attacked. So if we take a look at a Noble Blood, this will go up to 70% chance here. So that's pretty good. I don't know if that's good enough. It felt like she always had Mind's Eye, right? And then the other one was 20% increase when using Trample. So that's, I think I would prefer that over the extra 20% chance, because she's going to hit it anyway, right? She always does. Especially since with Mind's Eye, you have multiple chances to get it going. I feel like maybe if they wanted to make that one more usable, maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like if they wanted to make that one more usable, they'd just turn it to 100%, right? Like just turn the knob all the way up. I don't think that would make her busted or anything like that, but it would make her consistent, which is very important. I don't think she's good enough to not be consistent, if that makes sense. And then Genesis here increases the effectiveness of the caster for 2 turns when using Genesis. So, I mean, that's good. That's a lot of effectiveness, but I don't know if that's enough. So I'm kind of unimpressed with this one as well here. I feel like if I was going to use this, I'd probably just use the 20% extra damage when using Trample. Right? But at the same time, that doesn't increase the Eradicate damage. It just feels kind of awkward. I don't know what to do with this. It just feels kind of awkward. Maybe the effectiveness is just the way to go to help ease the stat requirements, because you're getting that effectiveness buff and you're getting the crit chance, which will really help her out. And she doesn't really need effectiveness. And one thing I talk about a lot is something like 75 effectiveness or 50 effectiveness is really an awkward amount. Specifically because most characters that you fight at higher ends, maybe different in lower to mid, but most characters in higher end either have like 0% effectiveness or effect resistance, or 180/200, both of which 75% effectiveness is going to do 0 verse. So that is kind of interesting to consider, and something I'm always worried about on characters like Alencia that are not going to stack the super high effectiveness stuff. And there's no reason to stack further, right? Because she's got so much going for her elsewhere in her kit. And the third one is Tieria, and I actually haven't read this one yet. So free Spirit Tieria, she doesn't get crit to help people gear her better, which is a little sad. Where is she here? She's a warrior, right? Free Spirit Tieria. No, she's a thief? What are you? Are you Dark Warrior? Is she in my... Did I ditch her? She's got to be just somewhere else, right? Warrior. I just swear she's a warrior. Yeah, she is. Okay, so she was just somewhere else. So as for her skills, let's just get a little refresher here as we look. So skill 1 is half slash, decreases attack for 2 turns, and critical hit increases damage. Skill 2 just does AoE here and heals herself. Skill 3 decreases defense and gives her immunity. So kind of surprised they went with attack percent instead of crit here, because that would help ease the gearing, especially since free Spirit Tieria is a very new player style character, since she's free, obviously, and the crit would definitely help that type of player. So decrease skill cooldown of energy wave by 1 turn when attacking a dark elemental hero with half slash. Eek. Eek. That's not it, Chief. That's not it. It's a 3-turn cooldown. Like, would that even be it if they took out the dark elemental hero part? I feel like if they took out the dark elemental hero part, you could build her counter or something like that too, right? Huh. I'm not a fan of that skill 1. Skill 2, energy wave. Dispels 1 buff from the target when using energy wave. That's actually pretty sweet. I do like that. But again, she has no effectiveness. She's a pretty greedy stat. And actually, she's not too greedy. She doesn't really need defenses too much. Like, I can't see them using Tieria for PvP, right? Like, is that what you want us to do here? But what I can see looking at this here is perhaps using her for PvE focus and using her versus dark bosses, and that's it. This way, you'll be able to decrease the attack for 2 turns while you're decreasing the attack. You'll also be lowering the cooldown of this, which will help Dispel now and give her some utility on her skill 2 to work with it. So I actually think that's pretty decent there between those two. That might be useful somewhere for PvE. And then the other one grants immunity to all allies except for the caster for 1 turn. Why except for the caster? I mean, I guess she kind of already has immunity. But, okay, so what I see from this is a PvE unit now, specifically for bosses that you want to decrease attack, and you want to decrease defense, and maybe you want immunity on yourself, and also one that helps you dispel buffs. That's what I see from this. This isn't a terrible EE. Like, she was never going to be good in PvP, right? Like, that was not a thing that was going to change. So maybe this helps for PvE, but considering she's a light unit, which means one of the best advantages of her is not having the elemental disadvantage, I would really like it if they turned off the dark elemental thing here with half slash. And the other thing is too, if you want to cycle energy wave, you can't dispel with energy wave. So that also feels a little bad. Interesting. So these 3 EEs, let me just see if there's anything else in this video. I don't think there is, right? It's just showing some story. Drop rate up for Sigrid. I know you can't see this very well. The Fairy Tenebria. Mystic Summon Rotation, Judge Kisei, General Purgus. There's not much here. Okay, so yeah. A little lackluster in these EEs. I do think the Illynav is the best out of them. I think that 50% CR is pretty great. I do like that a lot. But I don't think it's going to change anybody's mind. Like, nobody's going to be like, I need to mulla Illynav now. And I really think that's what they should be using these EEs for people that already have strong kits like Illynav, to make them more usable. Whereas somebody like Araminta that they just forgot existed, I feel needs more than an EE. Like, if you give something like that to Araminta with the power level that Illynav got, she's not getting anything out of it, right? Like, it's just not going to happen. So, interesting choices. That's kind of all I have to say. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these. I'm trying to be optimistic. I feel like this was just, wow, 14 minutes of me just like bashing on these EEs, right? Interesting. I do think I'm gonna use Illynav, but you know, I don't think it's going to go much different than it previously went. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.